Hey everyone, I'm so excited to introduce you to somebody. I'm really excited for the value that she's going to bring today and the things that she's going to share with you. Her name is Bronwen. I'm going to let her introduce herself, including saying her own last name because
Because it's hard.
it's a hard one to say correctly and I don't want to butcher it.
Yes.
So, why don't we start with you introducing yourself and just telling everybody who you are and what you do?
Okay. Well, my name is Bronwen Oehlschalger. It's Welsh and German, and I am
Mm.
American. So, and I am an intuitive business consultant for life coaches and energy healers who want to get on stage and really take things to the next level through the power of strategic collaboration.
I love
So,
it. I love the
yes,
term strategic collaboration. Okay, keep
right?
going.
So good. And the the way that we got started, do you want me to tell my story, like how this all began?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
100%.
So where this really began, I was 7 years old and I knew I had something important to say, and I tried to write a book and I tried to make it all analytical and um, like analogies and important. It was about a cowboy.
Okay.
It's very funny, but I just knew that I had a message. And then by the time I was 12 years old, life kind of had beaten the I have any self worth out of me. And I was at this point where I'd been bullied on the bus enough that I was sitting in my room praying that God would just take me away off the earth. And if He wouldn't, I was gonna make sure it happened. So um, in that moment of really deep, deep sorrow and just feeling like nobody cared about me and I was worthless, this peace just kind of washed through me. And this voice came into my mind. And essentially, what came to me was that my children have important missions. I have an important mission. I need to live because I need to fulfill on that. And that would make me happy. That would bring me joy. And so I decided, okay, because I felt peaceful enough in that moment that it comforted me and gave me a sense of purpose, but it was still kind of hard. And I went through over the next, couple of decades of my life just trying to find myself and find my self-worth, knowing that I believed this. My life does matter, but like how do I actually feel that way? How does that come into my interactions? How does that really play out in my life? And as I went, I started having these, I call them vision blips. I started having these downloads coming, that were showing myself on stage in these big events. And at this point in time when I'm receiving all of this, I'm like this mousy little thing that never went out of my house and didn't want anybody to look at me. And so I'm receiving all of this, and eventually I came in contact with the right mentors. And I mean, my first real mentor was like a multimillionaire and told me to put on events. He said, you have something important to say, you need to put on these events. And I just did it. And with that first event, I had 9 other women on the stage with me. And I was hosting the event, but it was really about us. It was the whole collaboration. And that's when it really got into my blood that I needed to do these amazing events with lots of collaborators and bring this value to people. And we always had anywhere between 20 and 50 people at these events, 9 events in a row, right out the gate.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. It's magic, right? It's like, right. And now we put on, bigger events. Our last event had a little over 200 people at it. And then we had, how many? Like 18 speakers. And it was just, this is what I love to do. So now, because we were putting on this yearly event, and now we put on 3 yearly events, and we just announced that. This is me announcing it. We put on 3 yearly events now.
Awesome.
Yes. One is all about money, one is all about healing all the ways, and one is all about business. And, money. Money is important to, basic human needs. What do you think about money? Dawni?
Ooh, that's
Like,
a
I
good
know,
question.
yeah, money's huge.
So I don't have a very complicated relationship with money.
Mhm.
I grew up very, very poor, and I would definitely do the thing where I was like, when I grow up, I'm going to have this, I'm going to have nice things. I'm going to have sheets on my bed. That was a big dream of mine.
Wow.
And lots of food in the cupboards. And so for a long time, it just was about resources and comfort.
Mhm.
Um, Money to me is totally like that cliche of it's an energy.
Mhm.
I'm really
I've
good
heard
at
that.
making it, and I'm really good at spending it,
Mhm.
and I'm a little bit good at saving it. I'm good enough. I'm good enough at saving it. So I don't really think about it much,
Mhm.
honestly. It's just, to me, prosperity and abundance is, I love
Birthright.
it and I'm
Mhm.
grateful for it. And it doesn't take up a lot of my RAM in my brain.
Mhm.
So, yeah.
Yeah. For a lot of people, it really does, though. And like
And
our
I have
healers,
other things that do. Don't get me wrong,
right?
right? It's just for some people, this thing is hard or this thing is hard.
Yeah, money's
And
easy.
money is not my hard.
Mhm. I love that. Well, what we've noticed and what so when I started doing these events, I was just like, okay, who needs to get their voice heard? And I was just looking for whoever was brave enough to get on that stage and get their voice heard. And before I knew it, I was coaching people in how to get things set up so they didn't waste their opportunity. So, and then before we knew it, we were helping people. We have a life coach mastery program that comes with certification should you need it, but it's all about mastering those skill sets. So when somebody does buy your coaching, you are worth every penny.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
And so now that's everything that we do. I do that with my business partner Tara Brown. She's our life coach certification director. She's amazing. Such a calm, grounding influence. Like she's amazing. Emotional safety awesomeness. And I help people set up their offers and their funnels and get them ready for the stage so that they are making real impact. And then what I really want to talk about today is getting on the virtual stage of your own making, right? It's like this. It's
Okay.
so simple. And I see people getting really hung up. I call it collab to cash, right? I see people getting really hung up on whether or not they have a formal podcast. But ultimately, I'll tell you right now, the only thing you really need is a Facebook account with a few Facebook friends. That's where you begin. And you can start doing these collaborative videos where you interview people. So, do you want me to tell you all the tips?
Yes, please. Because I just
Okay.
want to stop here and say my experience has been, this is going to sound however it's going to sound. My experience has been most people are not good speakers,
Yeah.
right? Like,
They need practice.
they need practice, they need a lot of coaching,
Mhm.
and to be able to stay on point and have a clear message and be
Mhm.
engaging. And I find it to be actually a very rare skill.
Mhm.
So if you have found a way to make people good at it, I am unbelievably impressed.
Well, I used to outsource that
Okay.
that part of it, but I've just recently made a decision that I'm actually launching a speaker program. So I'm excited
Ooh.
about that. And it's such a simple structure. You know this because you're a speaker. There are these little things that you just need to hit and make sure you're clear on so that you can make impact. And those things come really naturally to me. So I haven't had to work really hard for it. I'm a storyteller anyway, right? So it comes to me
Well, and I
really.
think a lot of people are storytellers. They're just not clear storytellers, right? So
Yeah, break down the lesson.
a
Yeah,
lot of
break down the
ramblers
lesson.
out there.
It's true. And, if we're going to talk about speaking, let's talk about this in terms of there are places that you'll speak. You'll speak in places like this one where it's just you're having a conversation.
Right.
It's
Yeah, it's
right.
conversational.
Yeah. And then you'll speak in places like master classes, webinars, right? You'll speak in places like virtual summits. Maybe somebody else is putting it on, maybe you are. And you'll speak in places like the big live events, like what I'm putting on. And in all of those places, you have different amounts of time to tell the story. So how are you going to hit all the points while you accordion it in and out, right? So that's important. But I want to talk about how to practice in this online space of your making. Is that okay?
Absolutely. Please do. I
Okay.
think this is wonderful.
Okay. So I like to think of it, imagine a circle where there's each, like there's sections and they're puzzle pieces and they fit together, but it's cyclical. It's ongoing, right? So think of it like that. And the first thing you do is find somebody cool that you want to talk to that you think could add value to your audience. Now, if you're new, your audience is that person who likes your post all the time when you do
Yeah.
post something. Okay.
Your
Those are your
loyals, your
people.
followers, right?
Yes.
Your circle, your people.
Yes. And then you can start this even before you're really clear on everything you're doing. And actually, I think it puts a fire under your butt to get clear. So, I'm an experimenter though. Throw you out there, try it out, see what it does to you. It makes you feel.
What's your human design?
I'm a projector, a 1-3 profile.
I was
Scenic.
going to say, are you a 1-3? Okay.
Yeah.
So you're a 1-3. So
1-3.
yes, you literally are the experimenter.
I am. And that's how I coach too. I'm like, okay, I'm going to give you a little bit. You're going to go try it. It's going to make you think differently. It's going to make you get clear. I mean, imagine this. Imagine I say, go start. Let's go all the way. Let's say, hey, come get on my stage. And this is your first time ever doing it. The stage is happening in March, right? That's the next stage that I have for other people to come and get on. If you're not ready for that and you're like, yes, that's me, I just know it, this is the right thing for me to do, between that yes and getting to the stage, there's a lot of things that you're going to go through to help you get clear on so that you're ready to go and be there. And you're going to think it's just your presentation, but it's everything that happens before the presentation. The presentation is really just the cherry on top. So think of this space like video interviews and just going on and even talking just to your audience yourself, which is a little more nerve-wracking. I think I'd rather talk to you, Dawni. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's a lot less nerve-wracking to find somebody cool and just do an interview and have them give really good advice to the people that are listening to the sound of your voice on social media. And that could be one person and it could be 1,000 people or more. Okay. So you don't have to have a big following to do this. Start somewhere. This is a great place to start. And like I said, it puts a fire under your butt to get things clear. And then, so you find somebody cool. You say, hey, will you give some value to my audience? I love what you have to say about these things. I heard you talk about it already. Will you come and let me interview you and give tips? And will you please give my people a free resource that will help them with the tips, right? That's the formula. That's the first part of the formula. Then, like Dawni and I are doing right now, you say, hey, I might have something valuable that your audience might want. Would you like to do a swap? I can give your audience some tips and I can give your audience a free resource. Now we come full circle. Okay. Then the people that are asking for what you have, like if you put in my keyword, which we'll give you at the end of this video, if you put in my keyword and you ask me for what I have, which we'll keep that a secret for a second, then I'm going to reach out to you, or my team's going to reach out to you, and we're going to see how you're doing. Are you somebody that's one of the cool people? I'm just going to call it that. Not popular people, but one of the people that has something that my audience could use some of your tips. We're going to reach out to you and say, hey, you're a cool person. Would you like to give some tips to my audience? And it comes back again. And now we have a full circle. And all of this is to expand your influence. It's to give you space to share your message over and over and over again so that more
Which will clarify your message.
Yes. Yes, it will. And it gives you a confidence boost. So as you do this, you're going to be like, oh, like I'm okay with myself. I can just get up there and talk to my friends. Okay. And then when you get on a main stage, like mine, you can get on the riser, you can have the microphone on, and you can look out at the audience and look them in the eye because you're just getting up there to talk to your friends. You with me?
Absolutely.
Right?
I love everything about it. I mean, I think this is brilliant for so many reasons. Number one, you're finding the people that are now collaborating with each other. you are giving the opportunity for many different people to give a message, and you don't know who that's going to have value for.
Mm-hmm.
You're basically creating a platform for synchronicities, for
Yeah,
people to find each other and to get that
naturally.
message at exactly the right timing.
Mm-hmm.
You're helping people practice
Mm-hmm.
speaking, connecting,
Mm-hmm.
collaborating. I've been
Mm-hmm.
surprised at how many people have very little practice at collaboration in general.
Right. They don't understand the value there.
Yeah.
It's networking on steroids. Okay, what does networking do? It gets you referrals.
And
Those are
it's
the hottest
authentic.
leads.
Hopefully it's authentic networking,
Yeah,
because
yeah, make it real.
yeah, because I mean, I'm the kind of person, I'm really, really turned off by a lot of the ways that people market slash network. And if
Mm-hmm.
I can tell they're just making a connection to see what they can get out of it, or if it's they're, you know what I'm saying, they're being
Yeah.
fake and acting
Mm-hmm.
like they're interested in a friendship or
But you're really a
talking,
number.
that
Mm-hmm.
does not work for me. And I don't like cold contact. I don't, if someone sends me an inbox just trying to sell me something, I'm probably not even going to answer it.
Mm-hmm. Well,
I'm a,
this so my team's gonna reach out to people cold and see if
well,
you want to collab, though.
but
Just saying.
but only if they have said, right?
Oh yeah, only if they're
Right?
saying they
That's,
want. Mm-hmm.
so then that's not cold. You
Oh,
know what
okay.
I'm saying, right? I'm
Mm-hmm.
talking about like, just, you don't even know this person. They just added you on social media, and then you get this inbox with this big sales pitch.
Oh no. Mm-mm.
And it's like, what are we doing? We haven't even started anything. You haven't even asked if I'm interested. And
Mm-hmm.
so I love this. I love that there's all these steps and that it's organic. It's way more organic.
And way more effective than
Yes.
ads. So much more effective.
And
These.
people get an introduction to these people.
Mm-hmm.
They get to see what they look like and act like, and what are their mannerisms and what's their vibe. And
Yeah.
that's really important when you're deciding an energy healer or a coach or something
Yeah.
who you're going to work with. Is that someone I feel like I could really vibe with?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like an organic commercial, but really even more than that, it's like an introduction.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So I
that's the
love that.
hottest. It's the hottest, most comfortable, most wonderful, uh, harmonious kind of lead that you can create. Wonderful. It has
Because then
been really.
people, so tell me this next part of how it works. So let's say, so today's going to be a perfect example, right? Is at the end of this, you're going to give them something that they can type into the comments if they're
Mm-hmm.
interested in your free offering.
Mm-hmm.
And then you'll reach out and just say, hey, do you want to tell me more about yourself?
Mm-hmm.
And
Well, I have a team, so my team helps me so that I can be a real human. Because otherwise, we wear a
oh,
lot
I
of
know.
hats. Yeah, you can't do that. So my team is going to reach out and say, hey, I looked at your profile. I saw that you asked for this thing. Here it is. Now tell me more about what you're creating. Tell me more about the value that you're bringing to people. And as you tell them the value that you're bringing to people, they kind of determine if it's a great fit for us to do a collab together. They're going to do a 15-minute collaboration chat. It's a planning meeting. And then they're going to get you on my calendar for the actual video, or Tara's calendar for the actual video. And after that, we actually offer a little coaching session of what to do with the leads after you generate them, because this is the completely different way of thinking. You're not just pouncing on people hoping they're going to be your client.
Right.
It's very different. At this point in the process, it's all about collaboration. And then you can see the next step in this is for Dawni and I haven't even asked her to, but we could do a masterclass together. And we can either do a masterclass swap, or we can do a joint masterclass and have a joint offer, which is cool. Like that, those are fun.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then, yeah. And so true JV, right? Now we're JVing to collab, right? So anyway,
Joint venturing, guys.
joint venturing. Yes,
I know someone out there's
it's
like,
juicy. What's JV? It will
they're like
help you
junior
make a
varsity.
lot of money. Yeah. collab to cash, right? Anyway, so the idea is when we bring people into the space that they know us already, right? Now we're building our following with these collaborations. They know us, they know if they like us, they know if they want more of this. And then we bring them to a masterclass to, again, it's the accordion, right? We're going to expand on that. And then we invite them to see if they want to work with us. So that's when the sales start to happen in those kind of collaborations. But with
Well,
these,
in the meantime, too, I mean,
it
someone
does.
might hire you to work, come do a session, or,
Yeah.
come work with you in some capacity. I'm curious, who is this like really good for? What kind of people or what kind of businesses does this work fantastically for,
Okay.
in your opinion?
I've seen this work for like any coach or healer, but
Okay.
I've also seen it work for insurance
Oh,
salesmen. I know,
okay.
right? Um, it really is marketing. It can work for anybody. If you have an expertise that can help somebody else, you have an audience. Like let's say I'm trying to come up with something. I'm thinking of this one guy, but I'm trying to remember his topic. It was like something about building homes, and he was just talking about it on a podcast because he had something to say. He put it out there because he wanted to have this kind of like a portfolio in his, because he wanted this other job, right? So even doing something like this with for the sake of establishing your expertise in whatever your field
Yeah, absolutely.
is an excellent idea. um if you have a business, though, it's like your marketing. It's the way that you get the word out so that people know who you are. And this is what happens. This is what happened to the guy that I just hired to help me build my team. He's like, this is what we do. We do these collaborations. And I'm like, oh, you build teams? I need your help. It was me that asked. He didn't even have to say anything. I asked for
That's
it.
the best.
Mm-hmm.
That is such a different energy than having to go chase something down and force
Mm-hmm.
it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so organic. I love that. What is
Mm-hmm.
it for you? Because you and I have talked before and we both love collaboration. What is
Mm-hmm.
your favorite thing about collaboration? Why are you so passionate about it?
I feel like it's part of me. Like it's a part of me that no, it's my get paid zone, my genius zone in human design. It's like I must. I can't put it down. So, but my favorite thing about it is just connecting with so many people. And I love hearing everybody's stories and their tips. And I love making sure that I know somebody, that if somebody needs something that I
Oh, yeah.
can't offer, that I have a bunch of other people in my pocket that I could be like, oh, this is the person for you. And I do that all the time.
So do I. And it's huge. Like, it's actually advice I give to because I also do coaching certification
Mm-hmm.
program, but it's specific. It's specific to innate drivers coaching.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell people all the time as a coach to have resources, to have a list of referrals so that when someone comes to you and it's just either not a match, it's not your specialty, um, like to be able to say, "Ooh, I have the perfect person to send you to." I was a photographer for many, many years,
Mm-hmm.
and I have two photographers I send people to now that I don't do that anymore professionally.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been so delightful instead of me just saying to someone, "Nope, I don't do that," and then just kind of leave them hanging. It's been so wonderful to say, "Ooh, but if you're looking for studio work, I have the best person. If you're looking for outdoor work, I have the best person." And I love giving people business. I love making those connections. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm just telling you, for the people out there, business owners out there, coaches, healers, having that list of people that you vetted, that you
Mm-hmm.
trust, oh, it's huge.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's like honestly essential.
Mm-hmm.
And then you don't get yourself with people that it's just not a match.
Yeah. And what you just described is networking. It's just feeding your network.
Yeah.
That's why you would do these videos. So I was talking to somebody who's used to doing sales the old-fashioned way. And they're like, why should I give so much value up front? Why shouldn't I just go for the close in the first call? And the reason is relationships.
Yep.
The reason is, and I actually just had a call with, I'm like, I want to see what this guy does in his funnel. When I bought his book, he had his guy reach out to me. It's all about collaboration. His whole system. I've actually hired the guy before. So I'm like, what are you doing now? This guy gave me an entire coaching session where he didn't try to sell me anything. And then he scheduled the next part, which is like numbers and math and everything, so that we can go over all of my plans. And I'm like, this is amazing. And I'm like, you are giving so much value up front. And he goes, yeah, there's 7 of them. 7
Wow.
connection points to help people to give way more upfront than you're expecting people to give back, because those relationships are gold. Even if I don't hire him again, I'm going to tell people about how great my
Absolutely.
experience was, right?
Oh, I bet you're the same kind of person I am, where I tell everybody.
Everybody.
So if I'm happy with something, and also if I'm not happy with something,
Mm-hmm.
I'm really like the person that you want to have a good experience.
On your side.
I will never shut up about you. But if you're like, I would never throw an individual under the bus, but if you're a business, like some restaurant or something I've had constant poor experiences with, I will tell people.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
I am that person. And so you really don't know where your big influx of wealth is coming from. I learned this so clearly years ago, 2013 or 20, no, I think it was 2013. Anyway, I went to a retreat. I was speaking for free,
Mm-hmm.
which quite honestly, I probably wouldn't do now. But
you have to learn somewhere.
well, and I did it because it was a yes for me.
Uh-huh.
I wouldn't have, like it was a hell yes for me. So I went and spoke at this retreat, and I met this just drop dead gorgeous, amazing, intelligent single mom in her 20s, and really just spent time with her, spent extra time with her, not thinking anything about it.
Right.
You guys, she sent me over the years more business. I don't even have words for it.
That's amazing.
It ended up being probably 90% eventually of my business coming from that one point of contact.
Wow.
You have no idea.
You don't. That's amazing. I love that.
The second one is a woman I played bunco with. And that bunco was a yes for me too. Follow your yeses, people.
You never know where they're going to take you.
You never know. Like, I was so kind of like, I don't want to go play bunco. But I got a strong feeling to go join this bunco group. She introduced me to her husband, who owns this big company. And oh my gosh, how not just the business that's come from it, but the joy, the connections that's come from that. You never know. Do not discount where it can come from. And when you're making those connections and you're doing those collaborations and you're creating the platform for synchronicities, it's magical. Isn't it just so magical?
Yeah, because what's the point? We get super hung up on money, and we were talking about money energy before. Like, the point of talking about money is to get you to be not so obsessed with money, right? So, because the whole point is, of my clients anyway, the whole point is for them to be helping people and making impact in their life to help them take that to the next level.
And then money's a byproduct of that.
Money is a byproduct.
Money comes naturally, and it gets really fun. It loses its heaviness, and it gets like fun and light and playful and magical, and generosity comes into play. And pretty soon everybody's winning. To me, that to me is the definition of collaboration. Like, true collaboration is everyone's winning.
It's that harmony. Yeah, I feel like I need to say this nugget. I'm going to say it. Somebody needs to hear it. Money does not come to a need for security. So if you want money because you want to feel secure, I tested this out for myself. And I see this in other people. It's not attracted to that. Money's attracted to your confidence.
Okay, did you hear that, people? You know what? I actually believe that that's true, because I'm so confident that I can make more money whenever I need to.
Mm-hmm.
And it comes.
And it just shows up.
And it just shows up. It comes, which doesn't mean, this isn't, to shame people that are struggling with money. It's to say, what is the energy behind it?
Exactly. What can you shift in your heart, in your mind, right? We're all about the mindset. With innate drivers, how can you get more in alignment with the things that are really driving you forward? That's where your confidence is going to come from, right? Being in integrity with yourself. Yes?
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
it's just, money's a relationship. So if you think about, let's say you're on a date with someone and they're like, look, I'm just looking for security. So I want to be with you so that you can be my security. Most people would be very turned off
Like,
by that.
that's kind of needy, friend.
Like, I don't
Yeah.
want to be that function that you've assigned.
Mm-hmm.
Well, money's no different than that. And think about
Mm-hmm.
how attracted we are to confidence in relationships.
Mm-hmm. Such a
It's
good point.
so good. So why would it be different with money?
Mm-hmm. And why would so now bring that back to your relationships with your marketing collaboration. You're not just going to use these people. You're not just using them. You are loving them. You are showing them off because they are cool.
Yes,
Right?
and you're saying to your people, I want to give you value.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to meet this person.
Mm-hmm.
And they have something to give you, and you're not
Mm-hmm.
obligated. You're not obligated to buy something. You're not obligated to work with them. But how cool is this that they just gave you value in this 30-minute recording?
Mm-hmm.
I love that. It really does feel like a win-win-win. I
It is
see the
such a win.
triple win as like the win for the individual, the win for the other, and the win for the whole world, for the collective.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Triple win.
It's harmony, baby. Woo!
Yes.
Yes. Do you like Napoleon Hill? I'm a
Oh,
Napoleon
yes,
Hill
very
freak.
much so.
Okay, I have his Law of Success book. I want to pull it out, but I'm not going to. It's over there. It's like this thick, okay? It's like my user's manual. I love it so much, especially the introduction, which breaks down this whole thing. It breaks down all about collaboration. He calls it masterminding.
Oh yes, I always have well, I shouldn't say always. I do a mastermind once a year, and it's always a big game changer, a real big game changer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, working together with somebody else for the same purpose, focused purpose together. So, I love it. He's my favorite.
Oh yeah.
I love him.
So can you say the name of that book again? Because I have a feeling some people listening are gonna go
Yes.
buy that book.
The Law of Success, Napoleon Hill. You can get it on Amazon. It's the thick one. And I recommend getting the book instead of getting the audiobook.
Okay, why?
Highlighting and marking. It's a thick book and you're going to want to come back to things.
Yeah, I love that. No, I love
Yeah.
that. So any last words for these beautiful people who are listening to this? I really do have the best audience.
You do? I'm so excited to meet them. Yay.
I know wonderful people.
Well, follow me here. This is how to spell my name. Follow me on Facebook. And then I want to give you a free thing. If you say collab to cash, I will have my team give you a link to the freebie that I made that's called Collab to Cash. I made this with my business partner, Tara. It has, because we're doing the whole thing, like, how are you with your emotional, facilitating emotional literacy with your clients? And so she's got a quiz in there just to help you see where you are with it. So super helpful. Just gauge yourself. And then I've got all the instructions for doing a collaboration and a checklist so that you're hitting all the points. And I'm talking about like important things like the Facebook algorithm. If you're doing it on Facebook, the Facebook algorithm works a very specific way.
Oh yeah.
Very different from this Instagram algorithm, which is more like the YouTube algorithm. So those have a few things in common, but Facebook wants you to do some specific things. Do you want me to just share what they are? That can be the final nugget.
That would be awesome. Yes.
Okay. Never drop links. Not in your posts, not in the comments, and please be kind enough to not drop links on other people's stuff. It limits the reach. Facebook doesn't like it when you try to take people off of their platform. Okay. So, and then use hearts instead of thumbs ups. Thumbs up is like the flip you off of the Facebook world. Okay. It says, I give you no points at all. So the hearts get you 3 points in the algorithm, and thumbs up
Okay.
gets you 0. Things like this, right? And then when you go in, like when we go in, you'll see if you say collab to cash in the comments, we're going to come in, we're going to give your comment a heart. We're going to say, I'll send that to you. You want 3 words or more. The algorithm likes 3 words or more. Don't drop a bunch of emojis with no words, and don't drop a GIF with no words. It does nothing for the...
This is such good information.
Right? Nobody talks about this.
Yes.
And people argue about this. I'm like, hello, go look it up. Like, just nobody knows, right? It's these simple things that help your post get out there in front of more eyeballs. That's what you want with your marketing. Yeah?
Yes. Thank you for those wonderful tips. Yeah. Okay. So obviously you guys, like, feel free to ask questions or say collab to cash and let Bronwen's team reach out to you. Give us some hearts. Give us some comments. If there's something about this that you especially loved or that you find valuable, like, comment that. Not just for the algorithm, but for us.
So we can engage with you.
Yeah, so we can engage, and so that we know, like, what's landing.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Collab. I love it. I love meeting someone else who, you might be the only person I've met who's as obsessed with collaboration and harmony as I am. Like, I love that. Like, lifelong obsession, love everything about it, such a big fan of it all. And so it's just been really fun to get to know you over the last little while and know how much we're on the same page with what we're doing it in our own ways, but we're very much, like, on the same page about what we're creating in this world. So thank you, Bronwen. I appreciate you taking the time to come do this. And for all of you watching, mwah. Thanks for joining us.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.